And Adam Campbell also dropped to the bench, and into the side comes captain Tom Parks, a man who made 89 appearances for Carlisle, scoring 2 goals from 2017 to 2019. He captains Pools against his former side. Nathan Sherrin comes into the midfield, and Matty Daly starts as part of a forward 3. So Nick Hayes in goal, a back 4 of Jay Ben, Max Cogan, Tom Parks and Cameron John, a midfield 3 of Jack Hunter, Jamie Miley and Nathan Sherrin, with Alex Reid up front. He'll have Tyrese Sinclair to his right and Matty Daly to his left. As for Carlisle United, one change from their 3-0 victory over Yeovil Town last time out. Elliot Embleton drops out of the matchday squad, and in comes Chris Con-Clark on loan from Peterborough. The former Altrincham man gets his start. So Gabriel Brees in goal, a back 4 of Jack Ellis, Bevis McGaby, Morgan Feeney and Ryan Galvin, with 2 defensive midfielders of Alex Gilliard on loan from Shrewsbury and Harvey McAdam, a forward 3 of David Adjiboy, who's got 4 in his last 5 games, Stephen Wern and Chris Con-Clark, all supporting Luke Armstrong, a man who needs no introduction to this part of the world, as Tyrese Sinclair threw ball to Alex Reid, left hand side of the penalty area to the byline, but the offside flag is up and it brings an end to that move. But it is a bright start for Hartlepool United. We are 49 seconds into this National League fixture. Hartlepool United 0, Carlisle United 0. And alongside me, I'm delighted to say, Mickey Barron, our expert Pools summariser, former Pools captain. He knows exactly what it means to wear that shirt, and more specifically, that armband. Mickey, great to have you with us.
Good evening, Rob.
This does have the feel of a big game.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. The crowd is big tonight. It's noisy on all sides of the ground, and the game started really brightly as well.
And Jay Ben gallops over to the right hand side across the halfway line. Matty Daly drifting in field and finds some space, but it's worked back to Cogan, and Tom Parks settles the ball in front of him, looks forward, clips it into the channel. Tyrese Sinclair makes something of that, then feeds the run of Reid, who's in, but the shot is blocked at close range by Morgan Feeney, the Carlisle captain. But again, bright from Hartlepool United. They forced the first corner of the game.
Yeah, really good passing behind again. It's the second one already down the channel, down the side of the centre half for Reid to run onto, and he got onto it there. But it was a fantastic challenge from Feeney to get out for a corner.
Alex Reid already having sight of goal. Corner to Pools then on this near side, right underneath the flagpoles. It goes short to Matty Daly from Miley. Miley gets it back, and space on the edge of the area. His shot is crowded out. It rebounds back towards the halfway line, helped on by Sherrin. Now Jay Ben inside the centre circle, lifts it over the top. There was a run over on the far side there, but Carlisle able to clear the danger. Comes back out to Miley through the centre of the pitch. Now Sinclair skipping infield. He looks determined already tonight, and he rides a challenge, tumbles on the turf, comes away with the ball, rides another challenge. Now Parks helps it onto the right hand side. Pools really starting strong here. Big cross into the penalty area, cleared by Carlisle as they look to weather the early Hartlepool United storm that is coming their way.
Yeah, it's exactly what we wanted, Rob, from a Hartlepool point of view, wasn't it? To get the ball and be positive when we've got it, play forward, and Sinclair did amazingly well to keep the ball there, but he looks like he's taking a knock trying to get through the challenges, so I hope he's going to be okay.
He didn't just get one knock, did he? He got about 3 or 4, ended up down on the turf a few times, but he would not be denied, Tyrese Sinclair.
But it's what you want, Rob. He scored 2 goals on Saturday. Give him the ball, give him plenty of the ball early in the game, and see if he can use the confidence off the last game to bring into this game.
Yeah, scored 2 goals against Solihull at the weekend. That was his last brace. Hold that thought as Luke Armstrong, a shot at the front post, which is saved low by Nick Hayes. Keeps hold of it at the second attempt and waves his teammates up the pitch, but that is an early reminder of everything that Luke Armstrong used to do in a Hartlepool United shirt.
Exactly, just a straight little pass into the box. He's made a diagonal run onto it, and he's not going to wait. He's going to get that shot off as quickly as he can.
We have a break in play here because of a clash of heads midway inside the Carlisle half. I have to say, brilliant showing from the Carlisle United fans. They are packed into that away end, the rink end, if you're familiar with this stadium. Away to the left-hand side of our vantage point here, we are at the back of the Neil Cooper stand, and it always adds to the atmosphere when you have a good following like that inside the ground here tonight. So the stoppage in play, 5 minutes in, Hartlepool United 0, Carlisle 0, and that just allows everybody to draw breath a little bit, because it is a game that has started quite a tempo.
Yeah, it has, and it's exactly how the game like this should be. It's high tempo, both teams trying to get on the ball. Hartlepool's probably had the better of it, and Carlisle just be hoping to settle down, get on the ball when they can, and start passing it around.
Well, the two players who took the knocks are back up on their feet. Alex Gilead and Nathan Sherrin over on the far side, just under the roof of the Cyril Knowles stand between the two dugouts. They'll have to wait to come back on. So free kick taken by Gabriel Brees, and he goes long towards the Pools corner flag that runs out of play. It will be a Pools goal kick. So if you're just joining us, those three changes that Nicky Featherstone made ahead of tonight's game. Rhys McNally misses out with an Achilles injury. Gavin Holohan and Adam Campbell drop to the bench. Matty Daly, Nathan Sherrin and Tom Parks all come in to start, and there is no Luke Charman, who is recovering from an ankle injury. I understand he's due to get a scan tomorrow to learn the extent of that injury. As Tyrese Sinclair involved once again, flicks the ball forward to the edge of the Carlisle penalty area, but Mark Hughes' side deal with it well until Adjuboy gives it away to Sinclair. And the York Loanee wins a throw-in, taken quickly by the other York City Loanee and Cameron John. And Sinclair wins another Pools corner. Yeah,
Hartlepool have been really bright, Rob, haven't they? They're just, we spoke about before the game, getting that ball and throwing it in quickly if you can and keeping the tempo open. And he's done that there again to Sinclair, who's just willing to run behind the defender, and Carlisle are struggling to get on the ball and having to defend.
Now there's a mass of bodies underneath the nose of Brees, the Carlisle goalkeeper, right to the back post, punched out only as far as Nathan Sherrin, who's going to meet it right on the touchline. Hammers a deep cross all the way through to Cameron John, who makes something of it at the byline. Now to Marley, that's an inviting cross to the back post, and he comes all the way through. Back again to Sherrin, whose cross is blocked, and it spins away to the feet of Matty Daly with the number 28 on the back of his white shirt. Now Jay Ben settles the ball and just floats one into the area, and Brees comes to claim it, dressed all in pink, away to our left-hand side, and he lets it go, releases it. Jay Ben will have to get back and heads it into the path of Miley as Pools mop up the danger at the back. And they needed to as well, because they had bodies lurking. But Pools go long. Alex Reid tries to get between the centre-back and the goalkeeper, but Brees comes out to gather it.
Yeah, it's interesting, Rob. Hartlepool, Miley put in two brilliant balls there, one from a corner and another one from the sort of rebound, if you like, but then Sherrin on the other side didn't mess around. He got the ball out of his feet and tried to cross it again, so it's probably something that they've looked at and think where they can hurt Carlisle.
As Gateshead have gone 1-0 up against Morecambe elsewhere in the National League tonight. That is the only goal in the division so far this evening. 8 minutes in, BBC Radio T Sport, Hartlepool United 0, Carlisle United 0, a fixture that was often contested in the Football League, and both teams desperate to get back there. It's a real shame that both of these clubs find themselves where they do, as Armstrong is sniffing around Max Coogan, who tries to clear, and he does, inside his own penalty area. Boomed clear into the Carlisle half, and Alex Reid just needlessly there bumps into the centre-back Morgan Feeney and gives away a free kick to the visitors.
Coogan did really well there, because he was wanting his goalkeeper to come out, and then he realised he's not going to do it. He's got Armstrong breathing down his neck, so he has to deal with the ball and put it out.
Ajiboye tangling with Cameron John. Ajiboye does really well to come away with it, rolls his studs across the top of the ball, but Cameron John gets back at him. Then John clears it straight to the feet of Jack Ellis. Cross towards the D, headed away by Tom Parks. Now Reid can't hold it up, so the Cumbrians have it inside their own half, just short of the halfway line. Crossing that now into Armstrong, hits it into the channel to Chase, but Cameron John puts his body between man and ball and is able to clear the danger up towards Alex Reid, who wins the flick on, but nobody is beside him. And you could see his frustration there from Reid. He did well to win it, make something of it, but nobody had really followed him up the pitch. Yeah,
Ben did well, defended it well first, and then he get a good ball up to Reid, who did really well to head it down. But as you say, there's no one close enough to him to get that header.
Switch of play here from Carlisle. Ajiboye with the number 7 and the lime green boots on his feet. Infield from McAdam. Now a shot from Wern, which goes wide of the right hand post, I beg your pardon, of Nick Hayes' goal. And with 11 minutes on the clock, it remains Pools 0, Carlisle United 0.
Yeah, it was good movement from Wern, wasn't he? Came just inside into the pocket, number 10 role, got turned. It was ambitious, but it shows where he wants to get the ball. Armstrong will make that run, he'll try to get in behind him and get on the ball.
Werner, a fellow Stockton lad, born in Stockton, came through the Middlesbrough Academy, had a time at Sunderland as well before loans at Torquay and Grimsby, had time at MK Dons as well. Yeah. And looking to score in back-to-back away games. Just one goal to his name this season, but he's a man of real quality, and that's not just because he comes from Stockton. Tyrese Sinclair shows quality there down the left-hand side and does well. He's into the box at the angle. He needs option.
Yeah!
Oh, that is an option. Forget the support. He did it all by himself. Tyrese Sinclair. That was made by him and finished by him. A nice little flick on the touchline, took it past his marker. He drove into the box, and with bodies arriving, he didn't need any of them. He found the back of the net from an impossible angle, but Tyrese Sinclair makes it 3 goals in 2 games, and crucially, on 12 minutes, he puts Hartlepool United into the lead.
Yeah, fantastic goal. He's received the ball, he knows the defender's too close, so he flicks it over his head, he takes it forward, the centre half comes across, he doesn't make a decision quickly enough on what he wants to do, he skips past him. We were asking for options, his option was he put it in the back of the net. What a great finish as well, what a fantastic goal.
Who needs options when you can do that? That is a man in form.
And I think it's exactly what Hartlepool deserve. I think they've been brighter than Carlisle. They're pressing really well. They're getting people around the ball, and they've had 2 or 3 really good attacks so far.
But this is a Carlisle team that can and do score goals plentiful. Sliding challenge from Sinclair, and he wins it inside his own half, and now he drives forward. He overruns that one, gets a shove in the face, and the referee digs into his pocket. It is a yellow card. And Cameron John is taking issue with the foul. Cameron John is saying that was a forearm in the face from the Carlisle man. Sinclair's pulled himself back up to his feet, but Harvey McAdam is going to be booked. And I don't think there's any question over that.
No, it's a definite yellow card. He's turned to run, he's put his arm out. To be honest, I thought it was a foul on Ajiboye earlier in the play, if you like, but it's a yellow card. But Sinclair's got them worried down this side, hasn't he, with his pace and his willingness to run.
Hartlepool United with a free kick then. 14 minutes in, BBC Radio T Sport. Thank you as always for being with us. However, wherever you're listening to us tonight, 95 FM, DAB Digital Radio, Freeview 714, or with us on BBC Sounds. Miley with the free kick. Pools in the ascendancy, lifted into the area, headed away. Might drop for Sharon, but instead it's met by Wern, who clears it into the Cyril Knowles stand, and I think new owner Landon Smith might have been able to get his head on that. He was almost in the posh seats. Throwing to Pools then, right in front of Mark Hughes' bench. And there are murmurings around the ground, almost in shock at the start that Pools fans have seen from their side.
Yeah, I don't think we've probably seen any goals as good as that this season here, Rob, have we? I mean, when you see it again, it's sort of the understanding of the defenders come so tight, so I'm just going to flick it and run round him. He knows he can beat him for pace, and then the composure and the finish, absolutely brilliant.
That is a goal that will get replayed over and over again, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially by him.
And his dad probably as well, I would imagine. And rightly so, because it was a brilliant piece of mastery from Tyrese Sinclair. McAdam, cue the boos as he lifts the ball forward, searching for Adjiboy, cut out by Parks. Pools have it inside their own half with that man again, Tyrese Sinclair. Parks gets his foot underneath it, skews it out into the Neil Cooper stand for a Carlisle throw-in. So 15 minutes in, Nicky Featherstone and Gary Liddell over in the Pools dugout will certainly be delighted with what they've seen so far. Mark Hughes, on the other hand, is sat down under the cover of the bench, the dugout, and I imagine is less than impressed. Sinclair, the white boots, sparkling under the floodlights. Miley on the halfway line, gets a pass. He nutmegs, in fact, Luke Armstrong there. Cue the cheers from the home fans. Parks at the base of the defence, looks forward, clips it into Tyrese Sinclair, whose flicked header finds the thigh of Cameron John to the byline. The cross comes short, is pushed out from underneath the crossbar by Gabriel Brees, and he needed to do that because otherwise it was sneaking in, and it is a Pools corner.
Yeah, everything's coming down this left-hand side, isn't it, for Hartlepool? Whether it's Sinclair running in behind, that time he flicked it for Ben to run in behind, and they just haven't tracked the runner. And I think he was a little bit fortunate with the cross. I think he probably wanted to go closer to the 6-yard box, but made the keeper tip it over.
Are you suggesting he didn't mean that?
Well,
I don't think he did. But it is a Pools corner. Miley to take it, both arms up in the air. Right-footed delivery, it's deep to the back post. Colgan is there, and it's headed behind for another corner.
There was a little bit more float at that one from Miley, which is always hard to go and attack. I think if it's got a bit of pace on it, attackers can go and really get in front of the defender and try and score.
So second successive corner for Pools. Miley places the ball down on the corner quadrant. All the Hartlepool United shirts are within the 6-yard box. Now Tyrese Sinclair peels away to the 18-yard line. Miley to take this corner. It's flat trajectory towards Sinclair, and he tried to hit it on the volley, but this time his touch evaded him and he lifted it not only over the crossbar but over the rink end stand housing the Carlisle United fans, and we can forgive him that, considering what we've seen from him already tonight. Yeah,
tough technique that one. Miley's done ever so well to drill that ball into him on the edge of the box, and he's run onto it and he's tried to side foot the volley, which is a difficult technique, especially when you've got a defender. But Hartlepool have been really positive, really bright since the start of the game.
As Morecambe have equalised against Gateshead, two teams fighting for survival down the wrong end of the National League, as Adjiboy tries to keep hold of it. And the referee has pulled play back there. It is going to be a Pools free kick right in the centre of the pitch. Tom Parks gets us back underway with Cameron John down the left side of the field, where Pools have had all the success, and they might do again. Daly finds Sinclair, slows it down to walking pace, then releases the run of Daly, gets across his man, goes down, and the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Jack Ellis, right back, is having a tough time, isn't he? He doesn't know whether to go tight with Sinclair or drop off, and then he dropped off that time. Sinclair played a lovely little ball around the corner, so he needs to really try and pin Sinclair down, because he's the point that's getting out all the time for Hartlepool.
Yeah, Jack Ellis, at just 22 years of age, signed a 1-year extension to his deal with the club back in November, and is having a difficult time trying to keep hold of Tyrese Sinclair at the minute, as Jay Ben looks to pulls up the pitch, and he does so and wins a throw-in right by the corner flag.
Yeah, Hartlepool have started the game, Rob, like there's something on the game, isn't it? Like they really have to go and win the game, which is brilliant to see. And it's exactly what we asked for. Go and take the game to Carlisle, create chances, try and score a goal, which they have, and try and dominate the ball.
Daly finds Hunter, back to Daly once more, edge of the box, trying to create space. Now Miley, the shot takes a wicked deflection, doesn't fall for Reed though, as the ball squirms away from the Pool striker and into the gloves of the Carlisle goalkeeper Gabriel Brees, and he releases that first time out to the left hand side. But again, Pool's been so positive in and around the box, and they're mixing up the game as well, Mickey. You know, at times they are going long, other times they're trying to get crosses into the box, and avoiding that, they'll let rip from distance.
Yeah, that time Daly, who I've always been impressed with when I've seen him play, he come inside, he dropped a Miley, he should have probably hit it with his left foot but didn't want to, and dragged the shot with his right foot, and it nearly bounced for the forward to go. But it's just that positive attitude, isn't it, in and around the box. I'm going to try and create something with a cross, or I'm going to get a shot.
Pulls in possession, Matty Daly. Carlisle are struggling to get a touch of the ball at the minute, aren't they? They just cannot get their foot on it.
Do you know the one thing Hartlepool have got today, Rob, is runners. They've got people willing to run off the ball like here now. Ben's running.
Oh, what a touch from Tyrese Sinclair as he plucks the ball out of the air, finds Cameron John, and his cross is blocked. And it will be yet another Hartlepool United corner, their 5th in the opening 22 minutes.
Yeah, and it's Ben's running, Cameron John's running past the ball, so Sinclair's got an option. He can play him or he can run with the ball, and the defender doesn't know what to do. And it's noticeable from the start of the game how many times when we've got the ball that someone's willing to run past him.
Miley with the corner then. Right-footed delivery, again to the back post, flicked away. Might come out for Sharon, who's going to meet it on the touchline. In fact, he's going to leave it to go out for a throw-in. As a hush descends around the stadium.
Just Carlisle haven't offered anything at the moment, have they? They haven't offered
that Luke Armstrong shot, haven't they?
Yeah.
In the early exchanges. But apart from that,
and a lot of the players just been trying to play a ball over the top for Armstrong to run on, and they haven't really passed through us or created any real positive play through the midfield.
Miley does well to make something of that. Deep cross into the penalty area, headed away by Carlisle. Daly tries to win it as he leaps on the edge of the box. Daly, shot through a crowd of bodies, might fall for Sinclair again. That is blocked at close range, and Ajiboy just has to get it away from goal, and he does so desperately. And it's picked up by captain Tom Parks, the Pool centre-back, inside his own half. He floats that to the edge of the D. Sharon nods it down for Daly. Ball hangs up in the air. Miley meets it with his forehead to Cameron John. Tyrese Sinclair wants it, but instead it goes to Miley and worked back to Parks inside his own half. Pool's building from the back. Carlisle trying to push up the pitch, but Pool's working round it, or at least trying to. And Sharon might win it, and he does. Daly can't keep hold of it as the ball gets away from the blue and white shirts and ends up at the feet of the Carlisle goalkeeper.
It's noticeable, Rob. Hartlepool are picking up every second ball. If there's a header, the Hartlepool player's going to go and get the next one, and Carlisle can't build anything up because they're not winning enough second balls all over the pitch.
We'll keep you up to date with scores from around the grounds in the Championship. Borough fans will be closely watching Millwall against Birmingham. Keeping an eye on that scoreline is 0-0 as it stands. as are the other 3 fixtures in the Championship tonight. Norwich hosting Sheffield Wednesday, who were relegated the weekend. Sheffield United 0, Coventry 0, and Stoke 0, Oxford 0. In the National League, the scores are as they were. Hartlepool United leading Carlisle by 1-0 thanks to a beautiful individual goal from Tyrese Sinclair, which is well worth the admission fee alone. And it's Gateshead 1, Morecambe 1 in that basement battle. Everywhere else goalless as things stand. And a reminder that if Pools win tonight, it would take them 1 point behind 7th placed Southend in that final playoff spot. And that would be very nice indeed. As Carlisle work it back to their goalkeeper, gets underneath that, lifts it high into the night sky, hangs around the halfway line, and Jamie Miley's gone down clutching his face, and the referee, with it being a head injury, calls on the physio Danny O'Connor straight away. Well, Miley, it looks like it was his eye, because he went down and he looks to,
I don't know, sometimes as those challenges go in, you can get a finger or a thumb just poked in your eye. I don't know whether it's his eye or the end of the nose he's holding, but I think the referee had to stop it because of where it was on the pitch. There wasn't really anything building from the attack.
Well, this is the 108th meeting between these two sides. Pools have won 36. The two sides have drawn 20 times, and Carlisle have won 56 times. And I say that to say Pools have won just one of the last 14 games against Carlisle. The last win, the only win in those last 14 meetings, came back in 2021, and it happened here at Victoria Park, thanks in large to Gavin Holohan, as Pools ran out 2-1 winners. That's when it was a Football League fixture. As Sinclair climbs over the back of McAdam, and a free kick to the visitors. I also looked up your record against Carlisle, Mickey Barron.
And?
Played 12.
Yep. Won
7. Drawn 2. Lost 3. That's pretty good. That's pretty good going.
I did break my nose against Carlisle as well. Spike actually broke it. I was on the back post, and I turned around to say who had done it, and he was laughing his head off. Called me Steve Bruce for the rest of the day.
Well, Carlisle on the attack. Wern to Con Clark, curls one, and it's just wide. At the left-hand post of Nick Hayes. Carlisle wants a corner, but the referee points for a goal kick instead, and that is a timely reminder of how dangerous this team can be. Wern into Con Clark, right-footed, just tried to curl one, wrap the ball around Hayes in the Pools goal, but it went wide, and it remains Hartlepool United 1, Carlisle 0.
Yeah, it was a really good effort when he tried to curl it into that far corner. I thought the goalkeeper had a little touch on it. I thought he'd pushed it past the post, but the referee didn't see it and give a goal kick. But like I said, they've had 1 or 2 half chances around the box, but I thought they would come in and dominate the ball, which they haven't so far.
As the ball drops out of play, Danny O'Connor, the physio, is getting some attention from the Carlisle fans, shall we say?
He loves it, doesn't he?
He's never afraid of it, is he?
No,
sometimes he actively pursues it as well. He certainly gives as good as he gets, that's for sure. One of the club's characters.
Because he could have easily walked that way.
He could have.
Past our fans, couldn't he? But I think he's decided to have some conversations on the way past.
Throw into Pools inside their own half. Cameron John down the line. As the Carlisle fans continue to serenade the Hartlepool United club physio. Now Ryan Galvin. Back out to the left-hand side. I was about to say some sustained possession for Carlisle, and then they give it away, but they have it now. with Con Clark, nudged back to McGabby. And it's Carlisle's turn to try and build as we tick round to the half-hour mark. Hartlepool United 1, Carlisle 0 on BBC Radio T Sport. McGabby now to McAdam. And Carlisle just going sideways here between centre-backs. Hartlepool United sitting off. Now Tyrese Sinclair will look to try and press the man on the ball, and it's given away by McGabby, and Pools have it back inside their own half. That was a strange bit of possession there from Carlisle. They just lacked any real options or desire to go forward there, which I'm surprised at.
Yeah, it almost looked like the defenders wanted someone to come and take the ball off them to go and create something, and then the ball came across and they just give it away really cheaply. And they've done it quite a lot, just sort of played balls forward in areas and not got anyone on the end of it.
As Morecambe have turned things around, Gateshead 1, Morecambe 2 as it stands.
I thought Gateshead might win that game with the good results they've had and a little bit of momentum.
As Pools work it back to Nick Hayes as the game enters its first real lull this evening. Under the lights, a stone's throw away from the marina. You can see the local fair is in town, because every now and again over the top of the Cyril Knowles stand you see all the bright flashing lights of the roller coaster rides and everybody enjoying their time there. But here at Victoria Park tonight, it is the Hartlepool United fans who are certainly enjoying what they've seen up to this point, as we have a break in play due to a head injury to Bevis McGarvey, who's down and getting the treatment that he needs. But chance for Nicky Featherstone to call over some of his players, pass on some instructions, and with just under 15 minutes to go until the break, I imagine the message will be, don't take your foot off the neck. Yeah,
100%. I think Hartlepool have been well on top. Look like the side is going to create the next goal and chances, and Carlisle just seem to want to get the ball forward in behind Hartlepool as much as they can, and hope for a mistake or hope for Armstrong to run onto something and create something on his own. But it's easy at the moment for the Hartlepool defenders.
There's a crucial game coming up in a few weeks' time, which is going to see Hartlepool United against Halifax. I should point out that is going to be the designated Her Game 2 day, and Her Game 2 will be taking donations to MNDA as the chosen charity this year. So if you are planning to come along, I'm sure that will be well supported, as it always is. The work that Jill and others do with Her Game 2 and Hartlepool United does not go unnoticed. Tom Parks looks long for Tyrese Sinclair, and he finds him as well by the corner flag, turns away infield now. Sinclair still going, and he's brushed off the ball. Pools want a free kick, the referee thinks otherwise. Now Carlisle look to try and counter. McAdam dispossessed, this time by Nathan Sherron, nothing given there either, and we play on. The referee in Declan Bourne is happy to let things go tonight.
Yeah, I think you got that one right. I think McAdam just realised he's overran the ball and sort of twisted to try and get a free kick. But this long ball every time over the Carlisle right back is getting in every single time, and they don't seem to be able to stop it or handle it. And someone either needs to give him some cover, or he needs to get a little bit deeper so that ball's not going to get in behind him all the time.
It's every time, isn't it?
Yeah.
As the ball hangs up in the air, Tom Parks meets that, and Pools will build again with Jamie Miley at the base of the midfield through the centre of the pitch. And you can see Sinclair communicating with his teammates, saying exactly that. Keep pouring it forward for me. There's Cameron John into the feet of Sinclair this time. Little pass give and go towards John, but that is won by Ajiboy. Did well there the former Sutton man, as he moves infield and is dispossessed by Nathan Sherrin. Ajiboye just overran it there.
He's getting a bit frustrated because I think he's had a couple of occasions where he's been fouled. I didn't think that one was, but I think he's had a couple, and he's looking at the referee sort of say, I'm not getting any sort of decision here.
Well, Ajiboye, Cameron John and Tyree Sinclair were all teammates. He had a loan spell at York City. He's been at Newport County as well. And I remember him mostly for his time at Sutton, and every time I've seen David Ajiboye, always really impressed with him. 4 goals to his name so far this season, 4 in his last 5, and he's on the ball now as he prods the ball over to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Intercepted well though by Matty Daly, who read that brilliantly. Yeah,
he was just on the outside looking in, wasn't he? Ajiboye's running across the pitch, and he knew he had to get back to stop that pass, and he did it really well.
Throw into Carlisle United, who are looking to build some momentum. 10 minutes to go till half-time. Mark Drury will take you through all the scores at the break. 1-0 here to Pools, and they're on the attack again down the right hand side. Miley trying to wriggle away from his marker, but loses out. So Carlisle with it back and working through the centre of the pitch. Ajiboye spins it out to this near side now for Jack Ellis, who's been running back to his goal for the most part of this first half. McAdam spreads the play towards Con Clark, but Jay Ben gets across and heads it out of play for safekeeping, and it's a Carlisle throw parallel with the Pools penalty area.
Yeah, you look at the game so far, Rob, and you wonder how Regan Linney can't get in this team, don't you? You think surely he would have an impact on this game, the way he plays and the amount of goals he scores.
I think he's had a bit of an injury or illness that he's working back from, but I agree. I mean, when we were at Carlisle for the game there, where Pools lost 3-1, Regan Linney was brilliant that night. As Sherrin intercepts, Miley tries to clear, but it ricochets off the feet of McAdam. Pools have it back though with Sinclair crossing the halfway line, now moving infield. He's got McAdam inside out, feeds a beautiful through ball to Cameron John at the byline. The cross is blocked. What a pass from Tyree Sinclair. He's showing exactly why Hartlepool United worked so hard to bring him here to the football club.
Yeah, outstanding. Again, because someone's willing to run past him, he allows him to come inside and get past a couple of players, and he's got the composure and the quality to slide that back in for Cameron John, who's made that terrific run, gets it, tries to get across in, and gets a corner from him. But those two are working so well down this left-hand side.
Pools' 6th corner of the game taken short. Daly now to Sinclair, space to shoot. Instead he tries to dip the shoulder, and he's been robbed of possession here, and Carlisle look to try and counter. Con Clark just gets the ball stuck underneath his studs, and that allows Sinclair to get back, disrupt the move and put it out for a throw-in. He apologises to his teammates. He is absolutely shattered, isn't he? After that, he's been running this way and that, Sinclair, all game long, and he just marauded forward, lost possession, sprinted back and atoned for his previous error.
Yeah, I think Con Clark should have done a lot better there for Carlisle. He had options to slide it down the side or try that switch, and he just took too long and got the ball stuck under his feet, but Hartlepool were lucky to get away with that.
Sinclair is moving rather heavily. Looks to have
Wheatley gets the ball.
Yeah, that's always the tell, isn't it? As Ajiboye feeds a through ball now to Gilead, who wide on the right hand side needs some support. McAdam tries to provide it through the centre. Now to Con Clark, clips one into the penalty area, headed away by Cameron John. Alex Reid gets a little whack in the back, nothing given, and we play on. This time with Jack Ellis, low into Ajiboye, stopped in his tracks by Cameron John, who said, "Not today. Thank you very much, that's as far as you go." Like a bouncer on the door to nightclub there, Cameron John. And now Daly's won it, just short of halfway, crosses the midway point now. Daly dancing, trying to dip his shoulder between two Carlisle shirts, but the numbers game catches up with him.
Yeah, I love that from Daly, the first part. He recognises Reid's up there on his own, so he's come right from that right hand side, right across to help Reid out. He didn't do too well when he had the ball, but just that willingness to come off that line and really come and help the centre forward.
39 minutes on the clock. BBC Radio T Sport Hartlepool United 1, Carlisle 0. Tyrese Sinclair sprinkling some magic under the floodlights here tonight for the opener. Ajiboye on the attack for Carlisle, though, looking to do the same. Right-footed shot is blocked by Miley. Rebounds for Ellis. Now McAdam. Flat trajectory to the edge of the D and headed away by Pools as they start to drop deeper, and that's encouraging Carlisle onto them as the home fans scream for them to push up the pitch. Into the box it comes, headed down by Luke Armstrong and cleared by Tom Parks. And kept in, is it? No, it's not. In fact, it's gone out for a throw-in. For a minute there, I thought Jay Ben had not only kept it in, but was about to sprint half the length of the pitch towards the Carlisle goal. Not to be, though.
Good defending from Parks. He's realised that Armstrong's going to head it down into that dangerous area, steps across. I can see Nicky there, he's having to go at Alex Reid because he didn't hold the ball up, and that led to Carlisle starting that attack.
Throw-in taken. Con Clark goes back to Galvin, and Pools trying to push up the pitch, although it's only Alex Reid doing that at the minute. 5 minutes to go until half-time. Pools with a slender lead as Jay Ben heads away, diagonal ball forward from Carlisle, but they have it back. Galvin out to Con Clark, trying to get to the byline. The cross ricochets to the front post. Cogan gets a touch on it. Sharon helps in on its way. Reid fighting for it, but not winning it. And he'll look to try and press Mugabe. And now forward come Carlisle once more. Right-footed delivery, that's inviting, headed away by Parks. And out to this near side. Picked up by Ellis. His cross is stopped at its source by, you guessed it, Tyrese Sinclair. And that is Carlisle's first corner of the game. Yeah, the last 5 minutes have sort of penned Hartlepool back in, having the balls that are coming out, Reid can't get hold of. They're starting another attack, and it's probably been the last 4 or 5 minutes to start to build the pressure. Hartlepool must get through to half-time without conceding. Just to tell you very quickly, Borough fans, Millwall 2, Birmingham 0. That is not a good scoreline. That's not what we wanted to hear tonight. Corner for Carlisle. Outswinger, headed back across the face of goal, completely missed by Mugabe. And Pools now can try and run it clear with Hunter. Mugabe was a fresh air shot. He should have done so much better with that. He'd arrived at his feet. He completely missed it. He should have scored. It was a great header from the corner. He's just glanced it into his path. I think it was Armstrong. Yeah, he's in front of the defender. All he has to do is make contact with it. As you say, Robbie, just totally mishit the... Well, he didn't even hit the ball. He just had an air shot, and it should have been a goal. Pools wide on the right-hand side, midway inside the Carlisle half. Tries a little give and go. Daly and Ben, that cross is a good one. It's low, but it doesn't reach Alex Reid. And cleared by Carlisle. The header won by Cameron John. Back goalwards, but again, Carlisle are able to get it away. Gilead. Oh, a nice turn, this time by Ajiboye, who's gone over to the left-hand side, but he's given it away. Jay Ben. Infield, looking for Daly. Oh, it's given by McAdam straight to Jamie Miley. And now Cameron John. 2.5 minutes left to go until half-time. Pools attacking the Carlisle goal. It's with Tyrese Sinclair. It's the walking pace, the step-overs, drop of the shoulder, good cross, rebounds for Daly at the angle. The shot blocked, might get a second chance, back across goal. Gilead clears, and Hunter fouls his man. And that is a free kick to Mark Hughes' men. And that alleviates the pressure building on the Carlisle goal. Yeah, it was another attack down his left-hand side, wasn't it? They just don't seem to be able to follow any runners that are going into the box, and another chance for Hartlepool there. It just seems every time that they have this ball on this side, someone runs in behind them and they're free to run in on goal. I was telling you about the score in the Championship. Millwall leading Birmingham by 2-0. If it stays like that, and obviously still a lot of football to be played tonight, it would lift Millwall to third on 59 points, 4 points behind Middlesbrough, who sits second in the crucial automatic promotion places. It shows you just how precarious things are in the Championship after Borough's dip in form. If you missed all the post-match reaction last night, you can hear it on BBC Sounds. Hear the interviews with Mark speaking to us. Tyrese Sinclair presses the goalkeeper, forces a mistake, and now Sherrin gives it back to Sinclair. Edge of the box, can he do it again? He curls it over the crossbar. Well, Tyrese Sinclair is frightening the life out of Carlisle tonight, because Gabriel Brees almost gifted him an opportunity on a plate. He managed to get the pass away, but he gave it straight to Nathan Sherrin, who found Sinclair, whose curling effort was just over the top of the goal.
Yeah, it was a right decision from Sherrin. Breeze has come out there, he's mishit it, and Sinclair's curled it in with a little bit more wind there. Would have gone in the top corner.
Pool's a little bit, what's that? Breeze, wind, I see what you did there.
Honestly,
yes, very good, very good. He's here all week, he's available for parties. Live at the Apollo will be on the line soon with jokes like that.
It's awful when you have to point it out. Though,
well, yes, it was well done. I'm very proud of you. It was very good. Bring some more of that, please. As the ball goes out of play over on the far side. 4 minutes is stoppage time.
4 minutes.
It's 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this time.
Sinclair's struggling, and he's obviously, he got a whack really early in the game, but every time he gets a ball he's not struggling. Then when he doesn't have the ball he's stretching and like looking over towards the bench, but there's no way Nicky will be taking him off.
Well, I can imagine from his point of view as well, given the form he's in and the night he's having, he will not want to leave this pitch, will he?
No, of course he won't. I think he's been absolutely brilliant first half. He's been the threat, hasn't he? And he scored a brilliant goal and had a couple of other chances, but Hartlepool just looked too quick. They're running all over the top of Carlisle and getting second balls, winning tackles, and I'm sure Mark Hughes will be very disappointed with the first half performance.
Sinclair's definitely carrying a knock, you can see that, as Pools get it again in midfield with Miley. Is that somebody texting you telling you how great that joke was about the goalkeeper? It was as well. Thank you to Mark Simpson who's listening.
Proper commentator that.
Aye, absolutely. A legend amongst men. Mark Simpson, great to have you with us tonight, my friend. The ball out for a throw-in over on the far side.
I have to say, a legend, half a man now though.
Yes.
He looks incredible.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. Mind you, if he's ever back at Victoria Park, he wants to stay away from this corner of the press box, given the amount of treats that we've collectively brought here tonight. There's muffins and cookies and all sorts, apart from Mark Drury, who pretty much turned up empty-handed.
Yeah, he's playing the Robbie Stelling card, isn't he, tonight?
Mark's used to people bringing the treats to him. That's the deal. So ball back to Nick Hayes in the Pool's goal. Launches it long. We're into stoppage time. And that clearance from Morgan Feeney was wayward, shall we say.
It's almost like, you know, if you're playing against a really strong wind and the manager says, just every time you get it, just try and clear it as far as you can. That's what they've been like. They've just got the ball at the back and tried to hit it as hard as they can up to Armstrong to try and get a half chance from it.
Cameron John with space to run into, receives it from Parks. Slows it down now to Miley, back to John once more. Sinclair is there. Sinclair round the corner, a give and go with Cameron John, but Ajiboye does well to get back in front of his man. Cameron John might be able to go around him, and he does, as the ball is spilled right at the byline and then cleared into touch. And Carlisle are so sloppy at the back.
Yeah, again, it's another runner, and Ajiboye did well to get back, and then he just didn't know what to do. I think he wanted to play back the goalkeeper. The distance was too short, so he wanted then to let it run out. Cameron John didn't want that to happen, and it just looked a real mess.
John, little give and go with Sinclair once again. John beats his man at the byline, into the front post, he's there! John, and he puts it wide! Cameron John with an opportunity to make it 2. It should have been 2. Hartlepool United have Carlisle on toast tonight. Time and time again,
Yeah, I thought he'd scored. The ball just dropped him after another bit of fantastic play down the left-hand side. He'd sort of give and go past the person, and he's in on goal. He's just dragged the shot wide, but
and we have a floodlight that's gone out over on the far side.
The fireworks back out.
And that will bring a timely end to the first half. And the men in blue and white are applauded off the pitch, and quite rightly so, because this has been an incredible first half of football from Hartlepool United. It's been a disastrous one from a Carlisle perspective. Both teams with early chances. Alex Reid had a shot blocked from close range before Luke Armstrong tested the palms of Nick Hayes, but the breakthrough, and what a breakthrough it was a piece of magic. A piece of individual brilliance from Tyree Sinclair as he received it on the touchline on this near side. A flick over the head of his marker took it away from him, and he galloped into the penalty area at the angle. We were all thinking he was going to cross. Little did we know Tyree Sinclair can find the back of the net from an acute angle, and it was just that, and he did just that to put Pools into the lead. Con Clark went closest for Carlisle after that with a curling effort away to the left-hand post of Nick Hayes, but Pools had numerous opportunities. Tyree Sinclair again curling one just over the crossbar before, right at the end of the first half, Cameron John at the byline knocked it one way, ran the long way around his marker, got to the near post at the angle. The shot was flashing wide of the Carlisle goal. Pools could and should be more than just one goal advantage at the minute, but at the break it is Hartlepool United 1, it is Carlisle 0, and there's so much to talk about at the break.
Yeah, and it's exactly what we asked for, wasn't it? To go out right from the start and try and dominate the game. I'm not seeing a game so one-sided down one side of the pitch. It's left-hand side for Hartlepool. Every time they go down there, they're getting someone free and getting a chance, whether it's a cross or a shot, and those two have been absolutely magnificent.
I tell you what, Mickey, if that is Tyree Sinclair carrying a knock, I'd hate to see him fully fit. Wow.
Well, that early knock might have got his anger up a little bit, but they've been superb all over the pitch. But this left-hand side have been terrific. They just look a threat, and I'm surprised Mark Hughes hasn't changed something and tried to stop the flow of this of the left-hand side for Hartlepool. Whether or not he waits a half-time and makes some subs, I've been really disappointed with Carlisle. Really disappointed.
He'll be sat on that bench thinking, this is not Barcelona, this is not Bayern Munich. He's a long way from the rarefied air that he was breathing as a player. And let's not forget, Carlisle arrived here having won the last 3 games,
all by 3-0.
This side look a million miles away from those results.
Oh, 100%. And I think you look at some of the players, and from Carlisle's perspective, you need a lot more from them. Some of them just look like they're jogging around, whereas the Hartlepool players are 100%, and it shows in the performance and so far in the result. I don't think Carlisle will play another 45 minutes like that. I'm just disappointed with how they've played as well. It's sort of route one, try and get the ball in behind, try and get Armstrong a chance to run and have a shot, but there's been not a lot of good football from them, and it doesn't look like a team that's won the last 3 games.
How much of that, though, Mickey, do you think is down to the way that Poole started the game? They started quick, they started particularly this left side, as you've been saying, of Cameron John and Tyree Sinclair, but they didn't let Carlisle settle, and they created chances from the first couple of minutes in. They've rocked them.
Yeah, 100%, Mark. I think you're winning tackles, you're winning headers, you're winning second balls. And Carlisle, every time they got the ball, someone was close to them, and if they got past that one, there was someone else there, and that was evident for everyone to see. And I haven't seen that from Hartlepool, that sort of real pressing with that urgency what they did tonight. And maybe that's why Carlisle thought, you know what, I can't play our football, we're going to just have to go along. And I think at the end, the centre half there summed it up. He got the ball, he had plenty of time, and he just tried to clear it and kicked it out of play. And they've been put under pressure, Carlisle, and they've had to do a lot of defending.
As much as I've been surprised and shocked by what we've seen from Carlisle, I've been equally surprised and shocked from what we've seen from Hartlepool United. Much like Mickey said, I can't believe what we've seen from Carlisle. Honestly, I was expecting this to be a real test. I thought it was going to be a tough afternoon, a tough evening even for Pools tonight, but it has been the complete opposite. They've looked shell-shocked at times, Carlisle, specifically at the back, and Pools have been all over them, and you can point out numerous people, but Miley's been brilliant, Sharon in midfield, obviously Tyrese Sinclair, but his link-up play with Cameron John on this near side has been the key to everything. The only thing I would say, the only one person I'd maybe point out is say that Alex Reid has struggled to get in the game still. Even though Pools have had so much opportunities and been going forward so many times, he still struggled in times to hold it up.
Well, if you hadn't have said that, there's about 300 people in this Neil Cooper stand who have been chuntering away about that throughout the first half. Alex Reid's hold-up play, but perhaps a little unfairly, I would say, on occasion, but there you go.
To give him credit, he attracts the two centre-halves, which if the two centre-halves are going towards him, allows runners to go down the side of the centre-half. So, yeah, he can hold the ball up better at times, but if he's attracting those centre-halves towards him, that gives space for people like Sinclair, Daly to run into, and even the full-backs to join in.
Yeah. As good as Pools have been, though, Mickey, it is only 1-0. It should be more, without doubt, and that's surely one of the things Mark Hughes is going to be saying to the Carlisle players is that, I don't know how, but you're still in this, now you can go and put it right.
Yeah, I think that'll be exactly what he's... I think he'll say a few things before he gets to that point.
Stuff that wouldn't be able to be broadcast on the radio.
But that would be the team talk for me. He said, look, you haven't played at all in 45 minutes, but you're still in the game, and you're well in the game because it's only 1-0, luckily for them. And I think he'll either have to make some changes, or he'll give him 10 minutes to show the players what they can do after he's given those advice, and then he'll have to ring some changes, because he can't just let what's happening keep happening.
Some of your messages that have been coming into us here at BBC Radio T Sport. Dan Hustler says it's great to hear Mickey Barron and Rob Law on commentary. Has Rob got his heated gilet on? It's a body warmer, let's not get posh. And no, he hasn't, because it's unseasonably warm. And who's brought the biscuits in, he says? Definitely not me. That's what staff are for. Class first half, bring on the second, says Dan. 457, and there's a reason I'm keeping this person's name off the radio, says, hi guys, listening to the match while I'm supposed to be working in M&S tonight, and then some quality emoji work to follow it up. And then we've got Paul and Jan Moran, who said, hello to you all, wish we could be there, due to health problems we can't, but it's lovely to hear your commentary on the home games again. Come on the Pools. It has been an entertaining and from a Hartlepool United point of view, a brilliant first half. But it is only halfway, and we still have a floodlight pylon that needs fixing as well. So I'm sure there will be some fevered work going on in the far corner, far left as we look from the press box at the back of the Neil Cooper stand. It's I think it's the floodlight pylon between the rink end and the Cyril Knowles stand. So hopefully that gets sorted out in the time that remains for us here at the break. Right then, I will run you very shortly through all the scores around the country.
Because of you, every day is brighter. Because of you, Teesside, County Durham and North Yorkshire is a better place.
I do this because I love it.
You go the extra mile. You make the impossible feel possible.
It's nice to be nice.
And people just like you are the spark that makes a difference.
To nominate a local hero for a Make a Difference award, go to bbc.co.uk/make a difference, where you'll find a list of categories, full terms and our privacy notice. Nominations close on the 31st of March at 5 p.m.
Make a difference. We can make a difference.
BBC Radio Tees.
Proud to follow Hartlepool United.
BBC Radio Tees
Sport.
Half time then at Victoria Park, Hartlepool United against Carlisle United, and it is the home side who lead.
Tyrese Sinclair shows quality there down the left hand side and does well. He's into the box at the angle. He needs option.
Yeah!
Oh, that is an option. Forget the support. He did it all by himself. Tyrese Sinclair. That was made by him and his marker. He drove into the box, and with bodies arriving, he didn't need any of them. He found the back of the net from an impossible angle, but Tyrese Sinclair makes it 3 goals in 2 games, and crucially, on 12 minutes, he puts Hartlepool United into the lead.
And that's how it is at half-time. Hartlepool United 1, Carlisle United 0. Elsewhere in the National League, at the break, it is goalless in the game between Braintree and Aldershot. It's Eastleigh 0, Truro 0. Plenty of goals at Gateshead, where it's Gateshead 2, Morecambe 3. The game between Woking and Solihull Moors was postponed. Half-time at Huish Park, it's Yeovil 1, Sutton 1. Let's head into the Championship, where at half-time Millwall lead Birmingham City by 2-0 at the Den. It's Norwich 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, goalless between Sheffield United and Coventry. And in stoppage time at the end of the first half, it is Stoke City 1, Oxford United 1. In the Champions League, it's the knockout round playoffs. Atalanta 4, Borussia Dortmund 1 was a final score. Atalanta went through 4-3 on aggregate. Just coming up to half-time in Turin, it's Juventus 1, Galatasaray 0. That means Juventus trail 5-3 on aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Monaco 0. Stoppage time at the end of the first half there. PSG lead 3-2 on aggregate. And it's Real Madrid 1, Benfica 1 at the Bernabeu. And it's stoppage time there, and a 2-1 lead for Real Madrid. That's how it looks then at half-time.
BBC Radio Tees Sport.
Evening to Roy, who's been in touch with us at BBC Radio Tees Sport on the email tees.sport@bbc.co.uk. He says, great commentary from Rob and Mickey. It's making for fantastic listening in Marrakesh. Sounds like pools have been breathtaking. They have, Roy. They have. Enjoy Marrakesh. I'm sure you are. Right then, before the teams come back out for second half commentary here at the Vic, let's look forward to the new Formula One season, and the Australian Grand Prix on the first weekend in March will mark the start of the new season and the debut for 18-year-old Arvid Lindblad. He'll become Britain's youngest Formula One driver. He's got strong ties to India through his mother's parents and Sweden from his father's side of the family. Well, he's been speaking to the BBC's Formula One correspondent Andrew Benson and explaining how he's shaped by his heritage and family.
My paternal side of the family is massive sort of motorsport fan. My grandfather is a massive motorsports fan. He'll watch anything with wheels and an engine. He did a little bit of motocross with my dad when he was younger. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it for very long, but he sort of passed that passion down to my dad, who passed on to me. So when I was 3, my dad got me a motocross bike. To be honest, that didn't last very long. It was a bit too much for my mum to see a little 3-year-old on the motocross bike. So that died out quite quickly. But then when I was 5, I went karting for the first time and loved it from the beginning. But I'd say a big sort of turning point for me that I remember very well was when I was about 4. My dad was sitting on the sofa and had the F1 on, and I came and sat down next to him, and was watching the race and sort of asking him, like, is it possible to be there? How could I? How does it work? And that was really the moment when I saw the cars and wanted to be there one day, and that sort of fueled the start of the journey.
Now, you mentioned your mum and your dad there. Obviously, you've got a very interesting backstory in terms of your family. Could you run people through that briefly, what exactly that is? Yeah, so my dad's from Sweden. He's born and brought up in Sweden. My mum is from the UK, but her parents are from India. They're from the Punjab region. They grew up there and lived there for a big part of their lives. So I have quite a diverse mix. It's quite a rare combination, but I'm very proud of my heritage. All 3 parts have really shaped me to who I am today. I've been very exposed to all 3, even though my grandparents, have moved to the UK when they had my mum. They're still very traditional Indians, and I've gone through. I've been exposed to a lot of their sort of cultures,
and rituals, the food, the prayer, all that sort of stuff from an early age, as well as the Swedish, and it's really shaped who I am today.
Now, you said they were from the Punjab, but they left India. Was that anything to do with partition? Were they Hindus? Were they Sikhs?
Yeah, so my Nani, so my grandmother's Sikh, grandfather's Hindu, and when they were 5, they were involved in the partitions. They were in the part of Punjab that is now Pakistan.
BBC Radio T Sport.
Arvid Lindblad, who will make his Formula 1 debut for the Racing Bulls team in Australia, and that will be the first weekend in March, which is rapidly approaching. Rapidly approaching here at Victoria Park is the second half. Hector's been in touch to say, come on Pools, hoping for a good second half. Aren't we all, Hector? Aren't we all? Especially Mickey Barron and Rob Law.
We're also hoping that a floodlight comes back on, because there is 2 poor souls away to our left-hand side by the huge flagpoles in what can only be described as a hut where all the electrics are for the said floodlight that is out, and they are desperately, because you can see the torches flickering and circling around, desperately trying to get the floodlight back working again. Now, whether the referee will allow this to go on with 3 functioning floodlights, it looks like he will, and he will, because we are underway for the second half. Hartlepool United leading by a goal to 0, and Pools, after a first half that at times was breathless, it was certainly breathless when Tyree Sinclair was sprinkling his magic upon this game, and he does so now, wide on the left-hand side, looks to try and run at his man, goes back down the line as Pools kick from left to right in this second half towards their favoured town end, of course. So this ball breaks for Alex Reid! Alex Reid latches onto a loose ball that was prodded his way, and it only took Pools 40 seconds from the restart to extend their lead. Hartlepool United 2, Carlisle 0, and whatever they've put in the water this week, more of the same, please.
What a fantastic finish. That is a harder technique than anyone can see looking at it. It's really difficult to swivel and hit the ball with pace and curl it past the goalkeeper. Really sloppy again from Carlisle, giving the ball away on edge of the box. Reid latches on it and strikes it into the goal. What a brilliant finish.
I was about to say to you, what do you think will have been the messages from the 2 dugouts, from the 2 managers ahead of the second half? I can assure you that the message from Mark Hughes will have been to not do that.
Yeah, I think Hughes will obviously, I think he'll say at half time, I'll give you 10 more minutes and then I'm going to make some changes, get us back into the game, and that'll just blow his whole team talk out of the water. Nicky will be delighted. I'm sure he'll never once thought they're going to get a goal in the first couple of minutes of the half, but he'll be absolutely delighted with that finish from Reid.
Reid's 9th of the campaign. It's 2-2 now for him as Carlisle try to dance through the Pools defence with Adjiboy. Con Clark sliding in and giving the ball away. Sharon flatters into his man in Morgan Feeney, and it's a Hartlepool United throw-in inside their own half. And I have to say, Mickey, I really hope the majority of this second half is played to the goal that Pools are attacking, because when it goes over to the left, given the fact that one of the floodlights is out over that side, it is very difficult to pick out players.
Yeah, it's dull, isn't it?
It is. And it's only getting darker as the evening goes on.
Seem to have given up on the maintenance.
The shutters are closed in the little hut where the electrics were for the floodlight. But we are still playing on, and it's Hartlepool United 2, it's Carlisle 0. Goals from Tyree Sinclair and a beautiful shot from Reid on the edge of the area. The ball bounced his way and he hit it first time. He struck it true. And I take back everything I said at half-time about Alex Reid.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish, but we know in and around the box he can do that, don't we? We know he's got the ability to get a shot away and have that quality to score goals. And yeah, he's been quiet first half, but second half he's just come to light in the first couple of minutes and taken that chance. A brilliant goal.
Thanks to Roy, who's been in touch. He says, enjoying the commentary, it's made for fantastic listening in Marrakesh. Sounds like Pools have been breathtaking.
Marrakesh, Roy, how is it? I'm going in May.
Are you?
Yeah. My Mrs. Barron's 50th birthday is part of her celebration. Part of.
Very nice. What's the other part, if one part of it is Marrakesh?
Afternoon tea with her mum and aunties. Weekend away in Harrogate with the girls.
Very nice.
And then a family dinner, and then Marrakesh.
Nicky has been spoilt, and rightly so.
Deservedly spoiled.
Absolutely. And Hartlepool United fans have been spoiled here tonight. It's not quite as good as breeze and wind, is it? But there you go. But yes, Pools leading by 2-0. What a start to the second half. 40 seconds on the clock when the ball hit the back of that net from Alex Reid's strike.
I hate to say it, but Carlisle just looked lost. They looked lost of ideas and sort of what they want to do within the game. I can see the subs board coming out, so they're probably going to make some changes, but they just looked slow at every ball and they're just lost in sort of what they want out of the game.
And Matty Daly looks to compound the misery, finds Jay Ben. It's passed into the penalty area from Ben. That was sloppy though, and a free kick goes the way of Carlisle. I have to say, you know, I was really thinking that this was going to be potentially a long night for Hartlepool United, given the form that Carlisle have been in, given the performance we saw in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. And I think many Poolies coming to the game tonight, you know, perhaps felt similar. Obviously there'll be some who are feeling optimistic, and I completely understand that, as fans will always feel coming to a game, but this is so far removed from the Carlisle we're used to seeing. But they're trying to change that now with Wern. Lays it off to Con Clark, but a sliding challenge to block the way forward by Jay Ben. Brilliant play there, and now it's to Alex Reid, who holds it up, and he finds out on the left hand side Tyree Sinclair. He looks to release the run with a long ball towards Daly, but it's cleared by Morgan Feeney. Cleared straight to Sinclair once more. To Daly, back to Sinclair, gets the bounce of the ball, lays it into the path of Sharon, who pulls his shot wide, and it remains Hartlepool United 2, Carlisle 0, and Mark Hughes is not waiting any longer. It's taken him 6.5 minutes of this second half, and the changes are incoming.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise even there. The two midfielders got to win the 50-50 challenge there for Carlisle. They don't, and then the ball breaks to Sharon, who shoots wide, but they're not winning enough tackles, they're not winning enough of the ball, and it's just been really poor so far from Carlisle.
So double change.
Also going off, number 7, David Anchaboy. This
So,
number 9, Georgie Kelly.
Let me run you through these changes then. Chris Con-Clark goes off, Regan Linney comes on to replace him, and Georgie Kelly, who had a fantastic game against Pools in the reverse fixture, he comes on to replace David Adjiboy. And Regan Linney, 17 goals this season, no goal in 6 though, which is his longest spell of the campaign without a goal. Former Altrincham man. There's a ball out of play for a Carlisle throw.
Do you know what, that goal will make Reid a lot brighter now, I think, Rob. You can already see it. He's got his goal in the second half really early on, and he looks bright with his hold-up play and his little layoffs. Much brighter than he did in the first half.
Much brighter than the floodlights, which is still out over away to our left-hand side. The goal that Carlisle are now attacking with Linney. Here's his first touch of the game since coming on. Moving infield, curls a low ball into the area. It might rebound for Kelly. Breaks. Carlisle still building. Dancing inside the box. And it's stabbed out to Wern, who will try to create space for the cross. Little give and go. Carlisle working well here. It's with Gilead. Some sustained pressure from Carlisle, and now they're moving the ball much better. Space for Mugabe, long one, and it goes all the way through and out for a goal kick. But that was Carlisle's best passage of the game, I'd say.
Yeah, all of a sudden have come to the game, haven't they? Passing the ball inside and outside, switching the play, and it was actually a good ball into the box, but I think it was Linney had run underneath the ball into the sort of 6-yard box and then gone out for a goal kick. But that's much more what we thought Carlisle would be like. It's important now Hartlepool don't sit back. I think they should go for that third goal and try and keep the ball in Carlisle's half as much as we can.
Thanks to Nick, who's been in touch, who said simply one word to describe Alex Reid's goal: swaz.
Good word.
Good word. Goal kick for Carlisle, and it's lifted straight out of play for a Pools throw-in. A reminder, win tonight for Pools takes them 1 point behind Southend in that final playoff spot. Granted, there are teams with games in hand around them. Oh, and again a skewed clearance from Gabriel Brees, from Nick Hayes. But it is Carlisle who have it on the halfway line with Gilead. Now Feeney out to Regan Linney. Looks to switch it, hangs it up high towards Georgie Kelly. Cleared by Pools. Out it goes to the right-hand side of play. Jack Ellis gets hold of it. McAdam, deep cross towards Armstrong. Pools again able to work it clear. Armstrong cushioned down for Gilead. His shot spirals up into the night sky. Parks, well, headed the ball forward. Alex Reid got a shove in the back and did that thing that players sometimes try to do, where they try to buy the free kick by grabbing the ball, and he did so, and the referee said, yeah, well, you just handballed it, and that's a free kick to Carlisle.
Yeah, it was almost like he was trying to signal something to the referee and wanted the game to stop by grabbing hold of it, but I don't know what he's trying to say.
But well, Tyree Sinclair is pointing to the ball, so whether it was the fact that they had a flat ball, which is now being replaced, and Nicky Featherstone is going to make his point to the fourth official, but it is Carlisle with a free kick.
You can see now Carlisle are going to put balls in the box for Kelly. He's going to try and be an aerial threat where they're going to work off it now. Every time Linney's had the ball so far, he's put a cross in, looking for Kelly to get on the end of it.
So free kick for Carlisle United, just right of centre. Stephen Wern stood over it. He's got Ryan Galvin to his left. He clips it into the area, headed away by Parks, held up. Turning is Gilead, looking to drive out to the left-hand side where the space is. It's all very congested through the centre of the pitch. Ellis, now McAdam, out to the right-hand side for Wern. Kept in, and Regan Linney's out on the right and hits a deep cross into the area, comes back out, a shot through a crowd of bodies, and it's spilled by Hayes on the goal line, and it's cleared desperately right from on the line. Tom Parks, as the ball was spilled by Hayes, it seeped through his gloves and almost trickled into the back of the net, but Parks spared his blushes, and it remains Pools 2, Carlisle 0.
Yeah, lucky escape there, because I thought that was in. I thought Parks wasn't going to get back to clear it, but again, it's from a long ball, header out. Carlisle now pick up the second ball and around the box. They get a lucky break, they get a shot, and Hayes was lucky there not to concede.
Carlisle are getting closer. They couldn't have got much closer than that. And the referee is telling Tyree Sinclair he needs to take a couple of steps back from this throw-in. It's bizarre. As the ball is arched into the penalty area. Reid is able to clear, only as far as Jack Ellis. 58 minutes on the clock. Carlisle pouring bodies forward. They are 2-0 down. And now Matty Daly has latched onto it. He tries to feed the run of Tyree Sinclair, who gets in front of his man. He's being brought down. The referee blows the whistle. There is a yellow card in his pocket. and the yellow card is for Harvey McAdam. It's his second of the night, and Carlisle are now down to 10 men. The visitors protest. Sinclair got in front of his man. He went tumbling to the turf. McAdam judged to have been the guilty party. And McAdam shown his second yellow of the game and is given his marching orders. And he goes straight down the tunnel. And Poole's night just got that much better, and the misery for Mark Hughes has just been compounded.
Yeah, it sums his night. I think he's had a poor night all along. It's hard to see from here, but the first time I saw that, I thought Sinclair won the free kick, if you like. I thought that McAdam was trying to get out of his way, and then Sinclair gone over. The referee's close to us. If he can see that it's a foul and give him a second yellow card. And again, Carlisle attacking, but there was one point Hartlepool had a 3-on-3, and it's just one ball through, and Sinclair uses pace to get the wrong side of the defenders.
So Pools now have a free kick, and look at how this is set up. It is left of centre, and it is set up for Tyrese Sinclair, who is looking for his second brace in as many games. He couldn't, could he? Right-footed, Sinclair, spilled by the goalkeeper. Pools with bodies down inside the area. They want a penalty, it's not given. We play on, the ball hoisted to the back post by Sherrin. Comes all the way through to Sinclair once more. Lifts it back into the area. Header, blocked on the line, and still it's not cleared. It might yet break for Coogan, but it's eventually beaten away by Carlisle into the centre circle. Parks hits a diagonal, looking for Jay Ben, controls it with his forehead to the byline and to the front post, but it's easily gathered by Gabriel Breeze in the Carlisle goal, and it remains Pools 2, Carlisle 0. Breathless stuff.
I'm lost for words with some of the play I'm seeing from Carlisle. I think the goalkeeper should do better off the free kick. And then after that, it's just a melee of they can't clear the ball. Hartlepool are keeping it alive in the area, and lucky again it didn't drop to someone for them to score. But now is the time Hartlepool have got to really concentrate, get that third goal, then keep possession of the ball.
Well, that red card for Harvey McAdam came at just the point when Carlisle were working back into the game. They were starting to try and move the ball, the type of play that we've become accustomed to this season in the National League from the visitors, and in one fell swoop that evaporates quite dramatically.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them now, unless the only thing is does that galvanise them a little bit more and spur them on. I can't see it at the moment. I'm just being really disappointed with the defending from Carlisle and just the way they've played more than anything else. They're not passing the ball at all. They're just going as quickly as they can, get the ball forward, get the ball wide and get into the box.
Luke Armstrong on the halfway line. And this Mark Hughes side work it back to their goalkeeper, and Breeze, who brings it a good 30 yards out of his goal, then hits a long ball that's headed out into touch by Tom Parks, who has met everything in the air tonight, hasn't he? The Hartlepool United captain.
Yeah, and it's exactly his game, isn't it? That's what he wants. He wants long balls, he wants aerial duels, and he's going to win the majority of them. I'd be interested to know if this is how Carlisle have played all season.
As a crosser takes a deflection, Kelly with a header, saved by Hayes, and Pools eventually clear. Thought there was a flag there from the linesman over on the far side, but there wasn't, and we play on.
Yeah, Kelly just gives them a different dimension altogether, doesn't he? He's big, he's strong in the air. Already they've had a couple of near misses of little flicks or little headers, and they're definitely going to get the ball into them as quickly as they can.
He's calling for it again, but a loose ball has been picked up by Reid, who has been knocked down off the ball, clutching his face. So the referee halts play. But a big save from Nick Hayes there at his front post, which will do him the world of good after that shot from Gilead, which almost spilled through his gloves into the back of the net, if not for the clearance by Tom Parks on the goal line.
Yeah, I'm surprised the referee stopped it there, because Hartlepool were attacking. I know he's hit his head, but I suppose he's being consistent with the other decisions he's made, but Hartlepool were on a good attack.
And Reid will now have to wait to rejoin the play. It will be a drop ball as some of the Hartlepool United subs are warming up over on the far side. You can see Adam Campbell, Danny Johnson amongst others. As Millwall are 3-0 up in the Championship against Birmingham. Birmingham down to 10 men, in fact. Norwich 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Sheffield United 1, Coventry 2 are late to score, and it's still Stoke 1, Oxford United 1. So you're up to date with scores in the Championship tonight. In the National League, Braintree 1, Aldershot 1. Still goalless between Eastleigh and Truro. Got that trip to Truro soon. Gateshead 3, Morecambe 4. And Yeovil 1, Sutton United 1, as it was at the break. Walking against Solihull Moors postponed tonight. Here, Hartlepool United 2, Carlisle United 0. The Cumbrians down to 10 men as well after McAdam was shown a second yellow as the ball breaks for Alex Reid. The offside flag goes up. I'm not so sure, you know. No,
it looked tight, didn't it? Reid looked like he was just on the half turn, and the defender might have just stepped up right at the right minute for him. But next 10 minutes is crucial, Rob, to get to that sort of 75-80 minute mark. Still 2-0 up. They're down to 10 men. Tire them out, keep the ball as best as we can.
Kelly controls it on his chest, knocks it infield, but again Parks is there to intercept. Reid tries to win it and turn. It's spilled, and Hunter fouls his man. Just clipped the heels there of Stephen Wern.
I think since Kelly's, they've got a goal threat now, and they've got something. It doesn't feel comfortable as it did in the first half, because they're going to put balls up. These are sort of situations where they're going to hit Kelly, look for people to run off him and try and get chances that way.
So free kick to the visitors just beyond the centre circle. Wern to take it, clips it into the area. Kelly with a header, it bounces and is gathered by Nick Hayes, and he balls it out underarm to Miley. Now Sinclair whips one round the corner looking for the run of Reid, but Ellis is there and Reid closes him down as the ball ricochets off the Pool striker and out for a throw-in. So 67 minutes on the clock on BBC Radio T Sport. Goals from Tyrese Sinclair, which really do warrant a second, third and fourth look. Cross into the box from Carlisle, goes straight to Miley, who can clear. Pool's second goal coming for an instinctive finish from Alex Reid just 40 seconds after the restart. Regan Linney trying to inspire his team. He is so often the maker of goals. A little give and go with Ellis. Linney's cross blocked by Cameron John. Rebounds against the advertising boards. And a throw-in quickly taken. Cross delivered by Carlisle. And it comes to the box. Hunter is there trying to gather it away, and Cameron John helps the ball up to the halfway line. It's been won by Tyrese Sinclair. Reid and Sinclair would have been away there, but it is Sinclair who's been brought down, and a yellow card has been brandished.
It's Jack Ellis, isn't it, the right back?
Yeah.
Another one who's had a tough night tonight. He's struggled with Sinclair, and then picked up a book in there for a challenge on Reid.
Out of performances we've seen this season, Mickey, this has got to be up there.
Certainly for me, as I say, I want to see the home games and bits and pieces of the away games, but just from an intensity point of view and the quality of the football that they played, especially in the first half, it is the best performance of the season, with two of the best goals of the season as well.
As Stoke have gone 2-1 up against Oxford United in the Championship. Still Millwall 3, Birmingham 0. Borough fans will be keeping a close eye on that one tonight. 69 minutes on the clock. Pools leading 2-0 here in our featured commentary in the National League tonight. Pools with a throw-in midway inside the opposition half as Pools attack the town end. Cameron John to take it. He goes short to Hunter. Back to John. Infield to Miley. Pools with the man advantage as Jay Ben takes a heavy touch which forces him into his own half. Now Corgan just lifts one up towards Matty Daly. He'll be beyond him, but the second ball finds Jack Hunter in the blue and white shirt of Hartlepool United, and that has very much been the story of the game. Second balls have been all Pools, really.
Yeah, definitely, Rob. I think it was evident in the first half how many of the winning, but now they've gone down to 10. They should be able to pick a lot more of them up as well. But that's sometimes what gets you on the front foot and gets you playing, is when you're winning so many second balls and tackles, and they've done that all night.
Nicky Featherstone readying a change or two. Looks like it might be Gavin Holohan getting ready to come on, a man who scored in this fixture back in 2021 when it was a League 2 fixture. The last time Pools beat Carlisle, having lost the last 3 against this team, all by the same scoreline as well, 3-1 in the last 3 meetings to Carlisle between these two teams, as Nick Hayes lifts one long into the night sky. The pitch still almost playing in shadows here, given the floodlight that is still out away to our left hand side. There's Luke Armstrong, gives the ball away to Sinclair, who finds Matty Daly. He's got Reid to his right, and instead he passes it infield, but it's away from everybody and straight into the path of Ryan Galvin, and Sinclair pulls him down. And I think Sinclair, who's done a lot right tonight, is about to get something extra for his evening's work, and that is a yellow card.
Yeah, again, Daly's gone right over to the other side of the pitch, which is great. He's picked the ball up, but then his final pass is just a little bit too hard. Sinclair's worked so hard to try and get the ball back, but then bringing up the man down.
Matty Daly making way for Adam Campbell, who will come on for the final 20 minutes. And Gavin Holohan is going to replace Jamie Miley.
Here's replacement number 7, Gavin Holohan.
And I think there's about to be a very special change, which might see the reintroduction
19, Alex Reid,
of somebody who's been sidelined for some time. Alex Reid goes off. And it's Sam Falarin. I thought for a minute it was going to be Verdane Oliver, but it's not. Verdane Oliver is lurking over the shoulder of Nicky Featherstone, desperate to come on.
Yeah, Tyrese Sinclair was looking at all them subs. He was crouched down. I think he thought he was going off there.
He does not want to leave this field. We said it in the first half when he got that knock, and he would not want to be brought off. I'm sure it was a chance. Breaks for Kelly, a wild shot from range that clatters against the advertising boards towards the goal, which houses the huge number of Carlisle fans who've travelled here tonight, I imagine in expectation, and quite rightly so, given the form that this team were in coming to tonight's game. But it has not been their evening at all, as Sam Falarin now gets chance to run at his man, and he does so left hand side of the box, breaking into the area now. Needs a bit of help as he's in danger of being crowded out. Sinclair provides it back to John, and now Hunter midway inside the opposition half. Sharon running back towards the halfway line. Parks out to John, and he wins the throw-in.
Yeah, I think Hartlepool can just keep the ball at times now, Rob, if they can get 10, 15, 20 passes and just make Carlisle move across the pitch, move back across the other side, and just wear them out and keep the ball.
As Verdane Oliver now has been sent to warm up. Out since October with a knee injury. He'd scored 3 in 3 before he was sidelined, and has been chomping at the bit, Nicky Featherstone tells us. to get back involved. I'm sure he is desperate to come on. But Pools with a throw-in on this near side. Jay Ben to take it. He just waves his teammates forward. Adam Campbell in front of him. Instead he finds Sharon, lifts the ball up high to the touchline, tries to go the long way around Feeney, and Feeney will just use his experience and his backside there to see that one trickle out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just the passage before that, Rob, the goalkeeper's giving it to the left back Galvin, who then kicks it out, and his body language is just so defeatist as well, like trying to blame the goalkeeper. And yeah, I get it, you're 2-0 down, you're down to 10 men, but you've still got to try and be as positive as you can to try and get back in the game, and they just look a team that's beat.
As Sutton have gone 2-1 up at Yeovil Town. Elsewhere in the National League tonight, still Gateshead 3, Morecambe 4, Eastleigh 1-0 up against Truro in the Effingham with the goal there. Carlisle on the attack, out on this near side. There's Linney, back out to Galvin. Linney once more, tries to knock it inside past Campbell, but Campbell stands his ground, and it's a corner to the visitors, just their second of the game.
Yeah, you feel like if they are going to get a goal and try and get back in the game, it's going to come from a set piece or a cross.
Well, it's going to be Stephen Wern to take it, and this is a training ground exercise. There is a line of people starting from the penalty spot up to the 18-yard line, and now it breaks as the ball right on top of Nick Hayes, who claims that, and he keeps hold of it as well. Then he throws it, tosses it up the pitch overarm to Sam Falarin, who is judged to have handball it.
Great take from the goalkeeper. That's exactly what you want. Under a little bit of pressure, comes and gets the ball.
Well, listen to this. The ovation for Tyrese Sinclair. A one-man movement tonight at times. He created and finished one of the best goals you're likely to see this season.
Making his first home appearance, number 39, Calvin Okike.
As Calvin Okike comes on to replace him to make his debut, the Hull City loanee. But a word on Tyrese Sinclair. The goal was fantastic. He's been a constant thorn in the side of Carlisle United, and he is undoubtedly enjoying his football at this football club. Long ball forward, might see Sam Falarin hold that thought. Falarin controls it on his thigh, right-footed shot, might rebound! Yes! And it does! And would you believe it? Calvin Okike, his first touch in a Hartlepool United shirt is to steer it into the back of the net. The Hull City loanee has just introduced himself to his new fan base in the best kind of way, and Hartlepool United are now 3-0 up against Carlisle, and the away fans are filtering out, and Pools are moving on up.
Yeah, another good finish, but Falarin did really well there. He's hit it across the goalkeeper. Again, I think the goalkeeper should have done better. He should have held it. He's parried it into the centre of goal, and Kiki has just run under it, but he's being calm and composed and put it in the back of the net, and that's game over now. And another good goal, and first touch to score. Absolutely brilliant.
Calvin Okike, as far as debuts go, that is incredible. Off the bench, your first touch of the ball, literally his first touch, was to side foot the ball into the net. And as Mickey Barron quite rightly said, the work was done by Sam Falarin, who did really well to stretch the defence, controlled the ball on his thigh, settled it down and unleashed a right-footed shot on target that was palmed back out into danger by Breeze. And it was on Okike on hand to punish Carlisle further. That is a story in and of itself.
Incredible. You hear it, don't you? Oh, it was his first touch, and normally it's not, but that was his first touch of the ball. And I think now, go and get another, go and get 5, and really put down a statement that we're in this playoff hunt.
There was a heavy challenge there from Okike, and it will be a free kick to the visitors.
Do we give the management staff some credit for that substitution as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Verdane Oliver making his way back to the bench, having warmed up. So, yeah, I am still available, Gaffer. Free kick to Carlisle, lifted into the edge of the area, headed away. Now it comes to Gilead, as Pools now can really... Oh, it's a chance for Kelly, and he nets one. In fact, it's Luke Armstrong. Armstrong with a goal against his former club. Pools will not get the clean sheet. Carlisle get one back with 79 minutes on the clock. It was from the free kick. It fell to Armstrong, and we all know, everybody knows how dangerous he is in those moments. And Armstrong nets his 11th of the season, his second in as many games, and he makes it. Pools 3, Carlisle 1.
Yeah, really disappointing. It's a sloppy goal. It didn't deal with the first ball in. It's a good finish right in the bottom corner, but we've got to deal with that first ball into the box. It just gives Carlisle a little bit of hope. It's really important now though, Rod, the experienced players, just keep the team calm. There's nothing to worry about. You're still winning 3-1. You still should go on and win the game, but we've got to make sure we don't just sit in.
Well, those Carlisle fans who filtered out moments ago may have heard the roar as they were in the car park. Well, question marks over the goal. Was it Kelly? Was it Armstrong? I could have sworn it was the ponytail of Armstrong who finished. But Sam Folarin kills the ball beautifully on his chest there. Folarin then has his pocket picked by Gilead. Folarin fights back, wins it, and wins a free kick as well. He's done well since he's come on, Sam Folarin.
He has, and he gave the ball away, but he didn't give up. He went back and got it back, and that's the crowd always love it if someone tries hard to get the ball back, and he did well. Got the ball back and won a free kick.
Oh no, diagonal ball there from Okike, just away from Sam Folarin, and out for a throw.
It's interesting, Rob, because Carlisle, the bench before the score was still, no movement. The score, and all of a sudden everyone jumped up, we give them a little bit of energy, and now they're making a couple of subs to see if they can get another goal back.
Well, Luke Armstrong is going off, and he's getting a round of applause from the Hartlepool United fans, who once used to cheer his name. So Hugh Parker going off. Hugh Parker coming on, Jack Ellis going off.
Also off, number 26, Beavis Mugabe. He's placed number 4, Terrell Thomas.
Terrell Thomas coming on to replace Beavis Mugabe.
Yeah, I don't think
Luke Armstrong hasn't gone off. He was going over to get some instruction from the bench, wasn't he? I think
he was, yeah. I think they're just either tweaking the system a little bit or what they were doing when they were down to 10 men, but he went over to get the instructions and then came back on. I thought it was a strange decision to take him off when you need some goals.
Especially after just scoring as well. Pools win it, edge of the area. Folarin needs some help at the angle, gets his cross blocked at the near post. It was all won there by Adam Campbell, who did really well. Sam Folarin couldn't capitalise though. It's good defending from Terrell Thomas, whose first action was to block that cross from Sam Folarin. Throw into Pools on this near side, just up from the corner flag. Jay Ben to Campbell, now to Sharon, back to Campbell once more. And Hunter working back towards the halfway line. He's got Kelly breathing down his neck. And he clears it back down the line to find Jay Ben. That's some good play now. Holohan is looking for Folarin, or he might go by himself. Holohan's shot is blocked. It rebounds up into the air, hangs there, and Okike settles the ball down onto the turf. Wide on the left-hand side. Infield now to Hunter. Sideways to Sharon. Okike. And John Pools playing beautifully. And then Holohan lifts it over the top for Cameron John. And the ball is intercepted. The run is killed, and Pools have a corner. Their 7th of the game. And it's towards the town end.
Yeah, they've been defending from Carlisle all night's been poor, Robin. They've brought a sub on there and they give the ball away, and then he's making bad decisions. The Holohan's running through. They just haven't defended very well all night.
Confirmation of the goal scorer for Carlisle was Kelly. A goal that makes it Pools 3, Carlisle 1. Pools corner here. Adam Campbell, an in-swinger. It drops down inside the penalty area, but he's fighting for it! And it's put wide by Hunter. He will not get a better chance. The ball was spilled into his path. He had a clear sight of goal less than 6 yards out, and he managed to put it wide.
Yeah, but you know what, Rob? That sums the game up for me, that little bit of play.
Well, now a loose ball, it's picked up by Nick Hayes. Sorry.
The ball's dropped inside more or less a 6-yard box, and the Hartlepool players come out with the ball. The Carlisle players are trying to tackle and trying to win the ball, and the Hartlepool players are just too strong, want the ball more than them, and come out with the ball.
Okike, speaking of strength, uses it right there, and then a huge diagonal towards Campbell, but plucked out of the air by Brees. Who then tosses it down onto the turf. 5 minutes left to play. Hartlepool United 3, Carlisle 1. If you're just joining us, what a game you have missed. Pools have been nearly perfect tonight in many ways. Carlisle have not been the Carlisle that we are so used to seeing. Goals from Tyrese Sinclair, which you'll enjoy.
There. It's got to be in your own half.
Well, a free kick to Carlisle that has been.
It's offside. It's got to be in.
Stephen Wern taking this free kick from inside the Pools half, inside the centre circle, lifts it deep into the area now. It's headed goalwards, half cleared, and a chance for Carlisle, and it's skewed wide. And that really was an opportunity for the visitors, as the attendance is confirmed. 4,812. That includes 774 who made the trip from Carlisle tonight.
That was a good chance. They should have scored there off the second ball. He's headed back across, but I don't know why one of the Hartlepool players doesn't just stand in front of the ball and say, look, it's got to be in our half. If it's offside, it's taken from the wrong place, and make sure that it's taken from the right place. Well, lucky escape there.
So Hartlepool United's goals: Tyrese Sinclair, Alex Reid and Calvin Okike, with his first touch just after coming on off the bench. Some may say an inspired substitution. As Gavin Holohan wins it and strides towards the touchline and just runs out of grass. So it's a throw in to Mark Hughes' men. Mark Hughes perched on the edge of his technical area, watching on. Penny for his thoughts tonight as we tick into the 87th minute. Hunter finds Sam Folarin, but he's the only blue and white shirt in the opposition half. Now others are joining him. It's overrun by Nathan Sharon and given away. Gilead gives it to Feeney. Neither of them wanted the ball there. Lifted forward, looking for Kelly. Oh, missed by Armstrong, and that allows Holohan to pick up possession. He's asking a lot of Sam Folarin there, who was offside, so the ball ends up with Ryan Galvin and out for a goal kick. As the referee has now noticed there's 2 balls on the pitch.
Match attendance 4,812 with
on the
originally
PA system announces the attendance of 4,812, 774 from Carlisle. And it gets to this point where I start asking you, Mickey Barron, who's in your thinking for your BBC Radio T Sport man of the match tonight, I do wonder?
Well, I think the left-hand side's been terrific all night, so I think Cameron John, Tyrese Sinclair. I thought Miley had a good first half. To be honest, everyone's played really well, haven't they? When you put in a team performance like this, but it's hard to try and swerve away from who you're going to give it to, isn't it? Because I think one player's been a standout, but those are the ones that would be in my thoughts.
Yes. A surname that begins with S, maybe. As Pools have a throw-in. And we're into the final 60 seconds. We're on air till 10 o'clock tonight. If you want to have your say, text 81333, start the message with the word tease. We are at BBC Tees Sport on X. You can email as well, tees.sport@bbc.co.uk. Or if you've got WhatsApp, 08000 321 333. And again, start that message with the word tease to have your thoughts, your say on what has been a brilliant display from Pools tonight. And a win that will take them just 1 point behind 7th placed Southend after they lost against Boreham Wood last night. And the invitation of the playoffs remains theirs. Gavin Holohan strikes one at the near post, pushed behind, and it's a Pools corner.
A good strike, wasn't it, from Gavin, edge of the box. He's made sure he's hit the target. The keeper has to turn it round more. You just think about Southend, how they're feeling tonight, Rob. They got a poor result last night.
6 minutes of added time. 6 minutes.
And they'll have been hoping that Hartlepool get beat tonight, and probably thinking that they're going to get beat off a Carlisle team who's in form. But this will be making Southend look over the shoulder a lot more.
Pools corner, 6 minutes of stoppage time, which we're into now. Adam Campbell hoists one to the back post. The goalkeeper comes out and claims it. And keeps tight hold of it as bodies rush past him, and then he releases it high up into the night sky. Jay Ben is underneath it. He heads it back to Nick Hayes and does really well there. The former Lincoln man. And then Hayes hits one upfield towards Okike, who gets underneath it, did well there. Adam Campbell wins the header, did well, despite being the shortest man on the pitch. He certainly got a good leap on him, does Campbell. As Corgan clears it upfield. Sam Falarin playing as a striker at the minute and certainly getting amongst it. Ball to Calvin Okike, who goes down, and Pools will get the free kick. Now, just listen to this for a minute, because Nathan Sherron is going off, but it's all about the man who is coming on to replace him. Verdane Oliver makes his return to the pitch. It has been 4 months on the sidelines for the big forward. A knee injury that just when he was hitting form with 3 goals in 3 games, he was robbed. And Hartlepool United certainly missed his presence up the top end of the pitch, but he returns his first minutes since October, and he comes back on to give Nicky Featherstone yet more options as Sam Falarin holds the ball up and then is just out-muscled, but Adam Campbell intercepts the clearance and Pools can build again. But great to see Verdane Oliver back.
Yeah,
Nicky.
definitely. It's always hard for a player when you've been out a long time, but it's a perfect scenario for him, isn't it? Just team are winning 3-1, game's already won, bring him on for the last 5 or 6 minutes and just give him a little run out. But yeah, it's another option, and now they're looking really strong in that department, aren't they, in the forward areas, whether it's through the middle or out wide.
So we are 3 minutes into 6 minutes of stoppage time. Hartlepool United 3, Carlisle 1, as Kelly is robbed and Pools looks to try and win it. Hunter loses out. Play on, says the referee. Gilead with a cross that ends up going behind for a goal kick. So as we tick round to the 94th minute, Mickey Barron, your BBC Radio T Sport man of the match.
Yeah, I think it's probably the easiest one I've had all season, and he's been sensational. Only went off the pitch, Tyrese Sinclair. I mean, his goal was magnificent, but it wasn't just his goal, it was his forward play and his movement, and he could have easily had another goal, but the way he linked up with Cameron John in that first half especially it was a pleasure to watch, wasn't it? And every time they got the ball they were creating something between them. But yeah, it was a special game from Tyrese tonight.
He has impacted this game in numerous ways as well, because Harvey McAdam sent off after being judged to have brought down Sinclair when he was racing through on goal. McAdam's second yellow of the night. Carlisle down to 10 men, 3-1 down at that. But Sinclair heavily involved this evening, as he was against Solihull Moors at the weekend, and that's showing to be a shrewd bit of business as well, Mickey, as the Carlisle with a chance, a shot through a crowd of bodies that's saved at the near post, smothered by Nick Hayes in the Pools goal. It remains Pools 3, Carlisle 1, but that piece of business for Tyrese Sinclair looks to be a shrewd move.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's someone that gets defenders worried, isn't he? And he gets the fans on the edge of the seats, because he's always willing to take people on. He's always willing to try and get past his defender and create something, and he's what you want to watch, isn't he, as a forward player?
He is one of those players. We were talking when we came on air about people who get bums off seats.
Yeah,
he certainly does that, and he did it in spades this evening. And if you haven't witnessed that goal, it is well worth looking up, because it was a fantastic take, a great drive, and the finish, when everybody else was looking at who he was going to square it to, he managed to find a little window to put the ball in the back of the net as Carlisle attack with a free kick from deep. Pools able to clear momentarily. Okike tries to help out. Regan Linney goes for the spectacular from distance, and it ends up way over the crossbar and out. And we are into the final 15 seconds of what has been one of the standout performances of the season, Mickey Barron.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, do you know what, Rob? It might just galvanise everybody for the running. You move up close to those playoff spots. You've had a brilliant performance, probably the best performance I've seen all season here. And it might just give everyone that extra little boost in training, in and around the building, to think, do you know what, why don't we have a real goal for these playoffs and a real push?
Well, before tonight, Carlisle had won their last 3 games against Hartlepool United. Pools had won just one of the last 14 meetings against the Cumbrians, but tonight it has been their night. As Carlisle look to... Carlisle have given it away. Okike tries to find Adam Campbell, but the referee will blow the whistle to spoil the party. Full time here. It has been a magical night under the lights, or at least 3 of them. But what an evening for Hartlepool United. Pools 3, Carlisle 1. The opening goal after just 12 minutes, a spectacular goal of the season contender by Tyrese Sinclair, who won it wide on the left-hand side, right on the touchline, flicked the ball into space, drove into it, and found at an acute angle, the only place he could have put it, to beat the goalkeeper Gabriel Breeze in the Carlisle goal. Pools then, right from the restart, 40 seconds into the second half, were adding to their advantage through Alex Reid, whose instinctive swipe of the boot saw Pools go 2-0 up, and then Carlisle's misery compounded after Tyrese Sinclair, so heavily involved in everything positive this evening, driving forward between 2 centre-backs, and Harvey McAdam judged to have brought him down. He got his second yellow of the evening and saw red to reduce Mark Hughes' men down to 10. And then Pools making a change with Calvin Okike, the youngster on loan from Hull City, his first appearance, and he'd need only wait just seconds before he found the back of the net to open his account for his new team. As for Carlisle, they managed to get one back to take a little bit of the shine off the win. Pools didn't get the clean sheet, but they now move after this win, this statement win, to just a point behind 7th place Southend, and the playoffs never looked more achievable this season. It's Pools 3, it's Carlisle 1. And Mickey, that was a hell of a performance.
Yeah, fantastic. It was a joy to watch at times, Rob. Some of the football they played tonight has been on a different level to what I've seen so far this season. The link-up play, especially down this left-hand side, was superb, creating chances. And it showed real intent from the start with the pressing, winning second balls, but willingness to put crosses in and just put Carlisle under pressure. And Carlisle just looked shell-shocked, didn't they, right from the start of the game. They never really got into the game. Yeah, they had 1 or 2 half chances, but Carlisle were really poor. But is that because of how well Hartlepool played tonight? And it probably is.
Okay, so chance to have your say on BBC Radio T Sport. We're on air till 10 o'clock tonight. If you want to get involved, text 81333, start the message with the word Tees. We are at BBC T Sport on X. You can email as well, tees.sport@bbc.co.uk. And as the cheers and the celebrations continue, as the players walk around all 4 corners of the ground, they are applauded off, none more so by their new owner Landon Smith, who is in attendance tonight. And what a game for him to witness. It ends Pools 3, Carlisle 1.
And it is a long time, Mickey Barron, since I've seen or heard this place sound quite as happy as it does at this moment.
Yeah, and it's a long time, Mark, since this amount of people have stayed to clap the team off, because even though we've had victories here, it's not been in that style, it's not been in that way, and it's not been as dominant as that. And I think that's the thing for me. They dominated the game today, and the fans appreciate that. And that's why they've hung around to clap everybody up, because they can see how well they've played tonight. But it was all over the pitch, Mark. It was just a pressing right from the start. And like was said before, the willingness to run forward, to get beyond and get balls into the box, creates chances, and they scored 3 terrific goals.
Yeah, a deserved win.
Oh, 100%.
Some of the reaction that's been coming in throughout the second half and at the end of the game, Hustler's been back on with a golazzo up the Pools. Quality night at the Vic for everyone, onwards and upwards. Brilliant listen tonight. Always good to see Carlisle doing well. Love Barrow fans is one cheeky one that came in.
Not sure they've got much to shout about, by the way.
Well, you take your joy where you can get it,
I suppose so.
Maureen Smith says, amazing results. Class that, lads. Thanks for an excellent commentary as always. Brilliant from Pools and a very confident performance. Good night all, never say die. That one from 277. And this one from 338 says, everyone mentioning Southend and catching them. But if we win our game in hand on Forest Green, we're only 5 points behind them, and they're struggling badly, only 4 points from their last 7 games.
Yeah, it's a fair point. You look at some of the other teams, I think Scunthorpe aren't on the best of runs. They've had a good run, but they're not on the best. So
yeah, no winning 5 for them, and they've lost 4 of them.
Yeah, there's a few teams in there that seem to be wobbling at the wrong time, but hey, why not aim high?
Yep, Pools then 9th, but now on 51 points. Southend in 7th on 52. The difference being, though, that Pools have played 3 more games than the Shrimpers. Halifax, the meat and the sandwich, on 52 points, but they have played a game more than Hartlepool United have.
I think the thing to point out as well, though, we've got Southend and Halifax to play. Do you know, and those games could be big turning points in the final running towards who gets in the playoffs.
How big a night is this on an individual basis for Nicky Featherstone as well? Because as Rob just mentioned, Landon Smith's here watching. It's one long audition for him between now and the end of the season. He'll be pleased with that.
Oh, he'll be absolutely delighted. And like you said before, you're coming up against a manager who's had hundreds and hundreds of games in different leagues, and he's totally dominated the game. And Nick, you'll be delighted with how many chances they've created tonight, but how sort of impressive they were with just dominating the ball, dominating pressing Carlisle, and they limited Carlisle to very little sort of football, if you like, and there was just one or two half chances. But if Hartlepool can play like that and keep that sort of standard and that sort of intensity up for the rest of the season, they'll be there or thereabouts. And fair play to Nicky and Lids and the whole staff, because they've planned that properly tonight and got 3 points when they deserved it.
Alex in North Shields has been on to say, brilliant performance. Featherstone set the team up to do a job, and they did it tonight. Hopefully Landon can loosen the purse strings to get some help for the lads we have. Newcastle released their own Miley brother, says Alex.
Do you know when, just on that comment there, when they've said they've done a job, and you hear, oh, they've done a job, and that normally means you've been negative.
You've stifled the team.
You've stopped the team from playing. It wasn't like that tonight. They've done a job. They have done a job on them, but they've done a job by attacking them and getting on top of them. And if you weren't here, you might think, oh, they've done a job in a way of stopping them play. But Carlisle weren't allowed to play at all tonight and never got into any sort of rhythm.
And mentioned one of the things we mentioned at the start of the show, this was the first of a run of 3 consecutive home games for Pools. I suppose the only shame of it is there isn't one this weekend coming. They've got a bit of a gap now. Yeah, it is. It's disappointing, isn't it? Especially after you've had 2 really good wins and a performance like that as well. But sometimes you get back into training's lifted, and that can be a good thing. Sometimes you can get the group together. Like, they'll go in tomorrow if they're in tomorrow, or they'll go in on Friday, and it'll be absolutely buzzing. And then maybe get a little rest over the weekend, and then come back for the Sutton game and hopefully put on another performance like that. Scoring so quickly after half time, I mean, that really set them on the path to victory, didn't it? Yeah, I think it was a brilliant goal from Hartlepool. It was a brilliant finish, but Carlisle giving the ball away on the edge of the box, and a minute after half time was just so poor, and Hughes will be very disappointed with the way they give the goals away. But that just settles everybody down, doesn't it? I think it knocks Carlisle back, and it looked a long way back from 2-0 down from them. But never mind when they went 3-0 down. But that goal at that time was a sort of really, really positive for Hartlepool, and I think that makes them go on and win the game. To a man, that was an excellent team performance. Reads this message: well done, Nicky Featherstone and your pool squad. Neil in the hospitality lounge and not leaving the town end. He says, game of the season, goal of the season, what a result from Dean in Hartlepool. I suspect we know which goal he's referring to, and it was the first. Yeah, it's a magnificent goal. If anyone hasn't seen it yet or doesn't see it now, please have a look at it over the next couple of days, because as an individual bit of skill from Sinclair, it's fantastic. But to be able to run more or less half the pitch and then have the composure at the end, me and Rob are both asking for him to square it, and maybe the keeper was thinking that as well, so he might have left a gap for him, but he's just curled it in. An absolutely brilliant goal. It's amazing what pace can do, isn't it? I mean, you're looking at the wrong person. Well, I was just no, I'm looking at the right person, because I was going to say it would have terrified you, wouldn't it, as a defender? It would have done, but to be honest, and it's probably not the right thing to say, but I would have had a yellow card a lot earlier in the game than that. You might have had 2 against him in that form. But I would rather have 2 yellow cards and letting them keep doing that to me over and over again. Pass it on to someone else, I'm off. Mickey, isn't it nice to have had fun watching Hartlepool? Yeah, as I say, the games we've won while I've been here over the last few weeks, it hasn't been like that. It hasn't been as dominant, as fun and as enjoyable as that. It's been a game where you've gone away and gone, well, that wasn't very good, but we've got 3 points. And that tonight is enjoyable, it is fun, but there's a lot of quality on show. And it was great to witness. And to witness it in your company, always a pleasure, Mickey. Thank you very much, Mickey. Cheers. Barron, Hartlepool United's greatest ever captain. Certainly captain of the greatest team. Well, maybe. No. Debatable. Definitely. No, we've crowned you. That's okay, it. Right, I'll take it. You've got it. Thank you, Mickey, and thank you to Rob Law for the commentary as well. Rob will be off now to get some reaction, and what reaction it will be, I'm sure, after Hartlepool United have beaten Carlisle United by 3-1. All the nights of the scores coming right up.
Scott Makin on BBC Radio Tees.
So on the show recently, I was joined by one of our very own, Amelia Coburn. The singer is joining one of her heroes on stage. It's only Paul Weller.
I've idolised Paul since I was younger. In my childhood bedroom, I had posters from the NME and Uncut from years ago pinned up. So obviously when you're just chatting to him, I've got him in my contacts now, I'll WhatsApp him. That's surreal. You can't act like he's some god even though he is a demigod, you know? You have to just, because he's normal to me, he's very down to earth. You have to just be very personal, and because that's how he is with me, and he's really lovely.
Scott Makin.
Weekday afternoons from 2
on BBC Radio Tees.
Proud to follow Hartlepool United.
BBC Radio Tees
Sports.
A very good evening from Victoria Park. This is Mark Drury, just nearly coming up to 5 to 10. And what a night it has been for Hartlepool United. They've beaten Carlisle by 3 goals to 1.
Tyrese Sinclair shows quality there down the left-hand side and does well. He's into the box at the angle. He needs option.
Yeah!
Oh, that is an option. Forget the support. He did it all by himself. Tyrese Sinclair. That was made by him and finished by him. A nice little flick on the touchline, took it past his marker. He drove into the box, and with bodies arriving, he didn't need any of them. He found the back of the net from an impossible angle, but Tyrese Sinclair makes it 3 goals in 2 games, and crucially, on 12 minutes, he puts Hartlepool United into the lead. Ball breaks for Alex Reid! Alex Reid latches onto a loose ball that was prodded his way, and it only took Pools 40 seconds from the restart to extend their lead. Hartlepool United 2, Carlisle 0, and whatever they've put in the water this week, more of the same, please. And now Matty Daly has latched onto it. He tries to feed the run of Tyrese Sinclair, who gets in front of his man. He's being brought down. The referee blows the whistle. There is a yellow card in his pocket, and the yellow card is for Harvey McAdam. It's his second of the night, and Carlisle are now down to 10 men. Sinclair spilled by the goalkeeper. Pools with bodies down inside the area. They want a penalty. It's not given. It remains Pools 2, Carlisle 0. O'Laren controls it on his thigh. Right-footed shot might rebound. Yeah! And it does. And would you believe it? Calvin O'Keeke, his first touch in a Hartlepool United shirt is to steer it into the back of the net. The Hull City loanee has just introduced himself to his new fan base in the best kind of way, and Hartlepool United are now 3-0 up against Carlisle, and the away fans are filtering out, and Pools are moving on up. It's a chance for Kelly, and he nets one. In fact, it's Luke Armstrong with a goal against his former club. Pools will not get the clean sheet. Carlisle get one back with 79 minutes on the clock. It was from the free kick. It fell to Armstrong, and we all know, everybody knows how dangerous he is in those moments. And Armstrong nets his 11th of the season, his second in as many games, and he makes it Pools 3, Carlisle 1.
That's how it finished then. Elsewhere in the National League tonight, Aldershot won 2-1 at Braintree. Eastleigh had a 2-1 home win over Truro. What a game at Gateshead, where it finished Gateshead 4, Morecambe 4. Walking against Solihull Moors was postponed, and Yeovil had a 3-2 home win against Sutton. In the Championship, Millwall were 3-0 winners at home to Birmingham City. Norwich had a 2-0 home win over Sheffield Wednesday. It finished Sheffield United 1, Coventry 2. And Stoke beat Oxford by 2 goals to 1. In the Champions League, Atalanta are through after beating Borussia Dortmund 4-1 in the knockout round playoff second leg. They went through 4-3 on aggregate. Juventus are in extra time at home to Galatasaray. It's 3-0 to Juve. It's 5-all on aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain drew 2-all with Monaco and went through 5-4 on aggregate. They're still playing in Madrid, where it's Real Madrid 2, Benfica 1, a 3-1 aggregate lead for Real.
BBC Radio T Sport.
So that is about it for this evening here on BBC Radio T Sport. A great win for Hartlepool United. All the reaction to come on BBC Sounds. Just go to our Hartlepool United feed and we'll react to it tomorrow evening when we will have BBC Radio T Sport with you from 6 as always. It's been a great night. The Late Show is next.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio Tees.
and on your radio.
The sound of where we live is BBC Radio Tees.
At 10 with the BBC News, I'm Kath Paddison. Jersey's Parliament will resume its debate tomorrow on legalising assisted dying for the terminally ill. The plans would allow doctors to administer a lethal drug. Opponents in the Assembly have raised concerns about the cost and moral implications. Lorna Pirazzolo, who lives in Jersey and has stage 4 breast cancer, has been campaigning for the new law.
For me, the overriding factor at the moment is two very, very sort of prominent characters in Jersey who both died of cancer in the last few years, and we were talking in their last 6 months of life, and they charged me with sort of keeping on it. It really matters because I know what they went through in their final week, and I don't want that. I don't even want that for my worst enemy.
The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, says the country's beginning to turn a corner on the cost of living. Her comments came after the energy regulator Ofgem announced typical household bills would fall by 7% in April for almost all of us. Richard Newdegg is from the price comparison and switching service USwitch.
These government changes are being implemented on fixed deals as well. So those customers that have already moved off of the price cap, have already saved money, are going to get a rate cut as well at the start of April, so they're going to save twice.
A BBC investigation's found almost a quarter of English councils will miss the deadline next month to introduce weekly food waste collections to all homes. More than 70 councils say they can't do it because of a high demand for specialist vehicles and issues with funding. The Lib Dem leader of Shropshire Council, Heather Kidd, says her local authority is in a financial crisis and can't afford to pay for weekly collections.
It's having the vehicles go out and cover 1,240 square miles with only about 320,000 people in it. We have to have little vehicles that go up into the hills on very narrow roads. We have to have bigger vehicles in the towns, and the road distance is massive. It just costs us a lot of money.
Now, a jogger in Derbyshire lowered herself down into a street drain to help a stranger rescue her keys. Lizzie Hollywell ended up waist deep in the sewer to try to reach the lost item with her toes. But in the end, a passing tradesman got them with some magnetic rods. Lizzie says the woman in her 60s was delighted to get her keys back.
She was so happy. She gave the plumber a big hug, and then she tried to give me a hug, but I said don't, because I was covered in all sorts from the drain. So yeah, she was happy, and then she went off to get her hair done, bless her.
And finally, a pub in Surrey is offering punters the chance to pop in for a pint and a cuddle with a meerkat. The Royal Oak Inn and Meerkat Retreat in Brockham's, believed to be the only pub in the UK where customers can have a drink and a meerkat snuggle. And you're up to date.